local people. Local news and events. Local sports. Local matters. For all things Lloydminster and area, this is Live with Kurt Price.
Hey, thanks for joining us here at the Canadian Brewhouse, where things are getting excited because it is close to October. And if you ask me, October is one of the best months for any sports. It means that Oilers hockey is back on the big screen here at the Canadian Brewhouse in Lloydminster, and we know the place to catch all the Oilers action this year will be the Canadian Brewhouse. Plus, the Blue Jays will play October baseball. Yes, your Toronto Blue Jays, they're losing right now 1-0, but they are headed to the playoffs, and that's exciting. And the CFL is into its final games before their playoffs in November. So things are really getting interested when it comes to sports. Well, joining us here tonight at the Canadian Brewhouse is Eric Labrosse, the new head coach of your Lloydminster Bobcats. We'll also be talking to Keyanna Bannerman and Shaylee Lett with the Lloydminster Reapers Rugby team about their busy weekend in Lashburn. SwiftNet.ca is now available in Lloydminster, Cold Lake, North Battleford, and surrounding communities. Get local internet that you can rely on and no data caps, starting at just $39.99. And because they're local, you won't spend hours on hold anymore. It's unmatched customer service. Call 306-825-7111 today or visit swiftnet.ca. Well, we want to start by giving props to the PWM Steelers and the Esso Cup Committee. Last year's Esso Cup generated an incredible $79,000. That's going to be distributed and put right back into women's hockey here in Lloydminster. I should say women's and girls hockey in Lloydminster and area, including dressing room upgrades, female referee development, and everything in between. It's fantastic. That was a great last event at the Centennial Civic Center. Now, speaking of the Civic Center, the one last time concert has been canceled due to poor ticket sales. I think everybody's just super excited about the new arena. But at one time, the Civic Center was new, and at one time, it got some big upgrades. As we find out today on Lloydminster's Look Back, as we go back to 1993 and renovations at the Centennial Civic Center.
This coming Wednesday night, the Blazers are having their home opening game at 7:30, and we're planning a little party beforehand, actually. The Blazers have arranged with IGA to provide free hot dogs out in the front of the building for everyone that's coming out to the evening. Activities within the building here itself, we're going to be having some self-guided tours and information sheets about what's gone on within the Civic Center over the last 4 or 5 months here. The grand opening itself, we're going to honor several people that have been predominantly major people in the ice arenas in the last 90 years, actually, and we hope that that's going to be a special event.
It's taken work crews 3 months to complete the renovations that cost close to $760,000. But for the general public coming into the rink, they may have a hard time seeing where the money was spent.
Yeah, we put in a complete new slab with under slab heating, and it's a nice, clean, level slab, 6 inches. It can accommodate large vehicles for extra activities such as concerts. We've put in a new ice plant, so we're capable of right now running at 80 tons of refrigeration, where before we were only around 40 or 50. We can crank it up and do summer ice at 100 tons if we wish. And another really impressive thing, which nobody will really see, is that we've got a completely new roof membrane.
But Quist says without the renovations, they were looking at some major costs down the road, costs that may have included a new arena.
Without the work that was done this past summer, we're not sure how long the building would have stood up. The engineers told us that do it now or be prepared for a major build somewhere down the road. So we thought it was better to do that now.
Some of the other changes, new boards and plexiglass around the ice, and a new time clock. And with the changes, the ice surface roughly 2 feet longer. And while the general public and the ice users may not notice the difference, the big difference will be in the coffers of City Hall, as the Civic Center will definitely be more cost efficient. Keith Snellgrove, NewsHour Sports.
Want to see your child's future take shape after high school? Visit Lakeland College's open house October 17th and 18th at the Vermilion and Lloydminster campuses. Explore Lakeland's career-focused programs, tour labs and residences, and talk with instructors who care about student success. Plus, your child can apply for free while on campus. Learn more and RSVP. Visit lakelandcollege.ca/open house. Parents are welcome to attend. We'll keep those nominations coming in for Meals in the Fields and a chance to win a wrap-up party for up to 50 people. We had 3 incredible meals in the field, and now that the farmers are finishing up, we'll have a wrap-up party for up to 50 people on October the 9th. It's been a smooth harvest for the most part, but the farmers we've talked to have said that it's been absolutely fantastic. Now, Bradley Air Spray is also giving away, with our Meals in the Fields contest, 160 acres of spraying. So get those nominations in on our Facebook page and nominate your family or a farming family that you know. Thank you to Farm Credit Canada, Diamond 7 Meats, the Tent Guys, Asset Link Heavy Equipment Sales, Vical Agro, Sobeys, Lloydminster Sobeys, Bradley Air Spray, and the Gary Melka Foundation. And we're once again excited to congratulate Becky Newman and all the vets and staff at Lloydminster Animal Hospital on winning cupcakes for caregivers. Crystal told us how she thought that they were going to have to say goodbye to their little dog Molly, but Becky and the great staff gave them more time together. I had never thought of vets as caregivers, but it makes a lot of sense when you think about it. Get your nominations in by emailing livewithkurtprice@gmail.com. Cupcakes for Caregivers, presented by Sobeys, Lloydminster, and Umbrella Marketing and Design, Inc. It's not just a name, it is Superior Water. Superior Water has 2 locations in Lloydminster, and they're open on Sundays. That makes filling your big blue jugs a whole lot quicker and easier. And if you want great tasting water to come right from your tap, you can call the Superior Water team and ask about their under-the-sink reverse osmosis systems. 780-875-6636. I drink Superior Water because I like the taste, and after all, it is Superior Water. Open on 57th Avenue, Monday to Friday, 8 to 6, Saturdays and Sundays, 10 to 5. We'll take a break here at the Canadian Brewhouse, and when we come back, we're going to introduce you to the new head coach of the Lloydminster Bobcats and get his perspective on what's happening with the Bobcats, what he expects from his players this season, and most importantly, of course, find out what he thinks of the new arena. We'll be back here at the Canadian Brewhouse in just a moment.
At CK McKean Roofing, they understand what it took to put that roof over your head for your family. With over 20 years of experience under their belt, they strive to show you that with their workmanship and their integrity. Not all roofing companies are created equal, and that's why CK McKean Roofing encourages you to focus on your most important investments, your home and your family. CK McKean Roofing. Roofers do it on top.
At Diamond 7 Meats, we work with local farm families to provide a high-quality product and a great selection for you. Try our mouth-watering smokies, pulled pork, roast beef, and more, made pure and natural with no additives or fillers. We offer custom processing, and our experienced team works for you to provide a selection of sausage, burgers, and jerkies made to your specifications. Take your grilling to the next level with a Yoder smoker. Complete the grilling experience with a Canadian-made, award-winning line of House of Q barbecue sauces. We're locally owned and operated, and we look forward to seeing you today.
At Lloydminster and District Co-op, membership matters more. Because being part of a co-op means you're connected to something bigger than yourself. From long-held legacy by those who built our communities, to people you call family, friends, and neighbors. When you're a Lloyd Co-op member, you're an owner in a local business that prides itself on purpose alongside profit. You earn cash back. You help support causes that matter most, and you're building a better way of life for the next generation. Membership matters more.
Welcome back to the Canadian Brewhouse. If you're into Blue Jays baseball, well, come down for a Blue Jays final regular season week. They got 6 games left, and it would be awesome if they could wrap up the American League early and be able to rest some pitchers next week. But they've got the game on tonight between the Red Sox, who desperately need to win, and your Toronto Blue Jays. BioClean Disaster Services is committed, certified, reliable, and they will help you get your life back. 1-833-246-8326. BioClean Disaster Services is celebrating 10 years in Lloydminster, and you see them everywhere. You know the projects that they've been involved with. The Lloydminster Sexual Assault Center, their name is on the Aquatic Center here in Lloydminster, and they have built a fantastic reputation with their customers for taking care of property, taking care of belongings, but more than anything, communication, taking care of you and your family. Well, we're excited to be here at the Canadian Brewhouse tonight, and this has been coming for a while. We have had so many people ask us, can you get the new coach of the Lloydminster Bobcats on? We want to find out a little bit about Eric and find out what he is like. So we are excited that he has joined us tonight. Eric Labrosse, the new head coach of your Lloydminster Bobcats. He's got some other responsibilities too that we'll get into. But Eric, thank you for being here. Really appreciate you giving us some of your time. Like I say, a lot of people have been asking, hey, let's get to know this guy. Can you bring him in? So I guess the first thing is take us through your hockey career, how you got to this point.
I played U18 back in Ontario, played Junior A in the Quebec League for 4 seasons, then played some senior hockey back home until my mid-20s. Got into coaching, I would say probably in the late 20s when I was 27, 28, and that's where it all kicked off. I started coordinating a AAA program back home for a few seasons, and from there got the coaching job at the U18 AAA level back home, and got a call from U Sports, Concordia Stingers, men's hockey, and that's where it all took place. From then on, that's where I went to go coach in the Quebec League after, in the Q in Moncton, coached in Europe overseas a few seasons, and the past few seasons I've been here out west. I was in Manitoba the past 2 years in the MJ, and here I am now in Lloyd.
You're selling yourself a little bit short when you say you were in the MJ. Like, you were not just in the MJ, you won a championship in the MJ, right?
Yeah, we did. Last season, won the championship. Great moments.
yeah. Don't sell yourself.
Yeah.
Well, take us through, take us through that championship.
So, during the season, we finished second in our division, I think, 6th overall. So we were maybe not the favorites in everyone's mind, to win the championship. But our group, we believed in ourselves. After Christmas, we had a really good run. And when playoffs started, our first series was against Neepawa. We won in 5 games. And then we faced Winkler Flyers, which were touted to probably be the favorites with the Steinbach Pistons. And, that was probably our biggest challenge yet in playoffs. And we ended up sweeping them in 4, which it was unexpected from, I guess, everyone around the league. And, the players did really well, played some of our best hockey at the right time. And then our finals was against the Dauphin Kings, and went to Game 7. A lot of overtime periods there. So yeah, it was a great moment. I think we won in triple overtime, Game 7 in Dauphin.
So it's not often that a team gets a coach and he's coming from a championship team. What happened? Why did you want to come? Why did you want to make a change coming from a championship team?
Well, for myself, I wanted to be in a bigger market. I wanted to be somewhere where it's, things were moving a little more. And in northern Manitoba, it was great. Don't get me wrong. I loved my experience there for 2 seasons, but I wanted to move on from the smaller market. So that being said, I got to meet Nigel Dubé last year when I coached at Team Canada West at the World Junior A Hockey Challenge. And from then on, it kind of clicked. And we ended up chatting after my season, and things fell from there.
They must be upset to let you go. I mean, it must be like, man, we lost our championship coach, but we're excited to have you. It's awesome to have.
Thank you.
Your experience at Western. So, were you was Nigel the general manager and you were the coach?
Yeah, correct. So Nigel was the GM last year. I was one of the 2 assistant coaches on Team Canada West, and along with Sean Martin from Whitecourt, and the head coach was Mike Reagan, that coaches the Flin Flon Bombers.
What was it about? Was there something in there with the way the team was built and meeting Nigel that made you think this is a good connection?
Well, we had to build the Western Junior A team from late September on, right? Early October, I should say. So October, November, December, you're getting to know everyone in the staff, right? Whether it's Nigel or the other coaches. And we had weekly meetings. Sometimes we had 2 or 3 meetings the same week because you have to analyze and watch a lot of videos on players from the AJ, the SJ, and the MJHL. So a lot of talks on who do you bring to training camp, who should make it. So a lot of talks were done by Zoom meetings, and you kind of get to know each other, and you get a feel for how the other people are in the staff, and that's where it started clicking. So yeah, we got along right from the start.
So from your time at Concordia, moving to the Q, winning the championship, moving to the Lloydminster Bobcats, is there something that connects all those teams that you say, my teams are this, my teams will bring this on the ice each and every night?
Well, I mean, there's one thing I think that's been proven statistically is in the past few seasons, I've always had the most disciplined teams in the league. So that's one thing I try to reinforce on the players, that discipline will get you far. Relentless work ethic, I think, is something that will bring you far also. I've won a few championships as a coach, and it's never been with the most talented teams. It's always been with the teams that are the most connected, united as a group, that buy into the same structure, and guys that work for each other. So I think that's what I'm going to bring here to Lloyd, and that's what we're going to try to build here.
At one time, Theo Fleury called us a lunch pail town. And you know what lunch pail guys like? They like tough hockey teams. Will you have a tough team?
I always tell the boys, let's play tough whistle to whistle, right? So I want the guys to be gritty, win battles. If they got to mix it up once in a while, like it happened over the course of the last game here on Saturday night, it will happen. It's got to be done at the right time too, I think. It's you don't want a team that is undisciplined and that just wants to put on a show for no reason. So in that sense, but I think nowadays, especially in 2025, if you want to win hockey games, you got to be fast. You got to be moving the puck. So you can be tough while you're doing that, but it's got to be done whistle to whistle.
Tell us about this year's team. What do you like about this year's team coming in, first year coach? There's some returning players. There's obviously some new players. What do you see? Like, how do you get to know the guys? And I know it's still early in the season, but through training camp and stuff, what do you think you got there?
Well, I mean, it is still early, right? I'm still discovering the players, how they're reacting in certain situations. We've only had a few exhibition games and now 2 regular season games, so I'm still in that stage where I'm getting to know most of the players still, their characters, because at the start of the season, everything is all well until you maybe go through some hard times, and that's when you get to know the true characters of each and every one of them. So right now I'm just getting to know them on a personal level, and obviously through chats by talking to the players at the rink and getting to know them more personally. And in the next few weeks, I think that's where I'll be able to analyze a little more how I will know them on the hockey aspect of things.
Are you getting to know who the leaders are on this team? I mean, obviously, Mr. Fendelet is a huge part. Number 29 is going to be a huge part of your team. But as far as leadership goes in that dressing room and beyond, are you getting to know who your go-to guys are?
I think I'm getting a feel for it in the past 2 weeks. Some guys they tend to show tendencies of leadership, and it can be in many different ways, right? You could have guys that are more vocal. Others, it's by their work ethic. They're silent leaders, but they display a tremendous work ethic in the gym. When we're off ice, at practice during the week, things that maybe the fans might not see as much during a game on a Friday to Sunday. Those are all little details that I take into account. Who maybe brings in a little more of the rookies under their wing, take care of them and stuff like that. So those are all the things that I'm still analyzing right now, but I'm starting to see who the guys are a little more, yeah.
There's still some training camps going on. Things are happening above you guys. That will that affect the team? Like the team that we're seeing now, it's still early, but will we see some movement yet in players?
It might. I mean, there's NHL guys right now that are, I'm saying NHL guys, WHL guys, Western League guys that are up at NHL camps that when they come back, most probably this week or next week, it might bump some guys down. So just like any other teams, we might see a bit of movement. I don't expect a whole lot, but there might be a bit of movement in the next weeks to come when everything is said and done with the NHL camps.
Not a whole lot, but could be a few moves.
Could be a few.
You were a former general manager. How does that work with Nigel? Tell us about that relationship and how it works with the Bobcats.
Yeah, well, I mean, the past few seasons I was a GM head coach, so obviously by accepting this role, I accepted to let go of that title, right? And to be truthful, what I care about the most is the hockey aspect of it. There's a lot of tasks that come with the GM role that have to do with outside of hockey operations, and those tasks are not really things that I miss too much now. I'm glad I'm not doing those anymore. So that was basically my chat with Nigel. I just wanted to make sure that by coming here, by being included in the hockey decisions, because at the end of the day, when you're coaching a team, you like to know who you're coaching and what kind of players you're getting. So that's all it was. But at the end of the day, we chat every day and we analyze the team together along with our assistant GM, also Andrew Gilbert. So I think we do it well as a group here.
Eric Labrosse, the new head coach of your Lloydminster Bobcats, and we're excited to have him here in Lloydminster, but excited to have him here at the Canadian Brewhouse tonight too. We're learning a little bit about him. What's your goals? What do you got for? I know you've got team goals, and I know you got personal goals.
Team goals, obviously, win a championship. This is what I was telling the boys the past few days since we started the season. My objective is the same every year. Is I want to win a championship with my team every year. And obviously that's a hard task, right? It's hard to get there and to make it through all the rounds. A lot of things have to go right. But that's always one of my main objectives. And the other one is to move players along. So, at the junior A level, you're a stepping stone to either the Western League or college hockey. So that's what I'm looking to do, to make sure the players progress the right way, so that at the end of their journey here in Lloydminster, they're well prepared for what's coming up next. And that's how we structure the program here.
We've seen the last couple of years in Lloydminster a good regular season team, but not so much in the playoffs. Have you kind of watched some games, figured out what maybe this team was lacking and how we can improve? Or is it just, it's a new year, I bring in a new system, we're not worried about looking back at the past?
I didn't look back at the past. I maybe am leaning more towards my experiences I had the past few years, whether it's in Manitoba and Moncton, or even at the university level with Concordia, where we made it a few rounds into playoffs. And it all comes back to what I was saying earlier, is that you need many different types of players to make a championship team. And I think it's finding all the right ingredients to mix it in. And that's what I'm looking for. And it always stems from players, how relentless they are on the ice, how much do they want to compete, or do they have a compete level that's above average? If so, those are the type of players I want to have, and those are the guys that will ultimately make you better in playoffs. Obviously, you always need some talent. You always you can't look off talent, right? Because you'll always need some. But if you don't have that compete level from your group, you won't make it past the first round usually in playoffs.
How do you coach discipline?
You hold players accountable. That's plain and simple. That's what it is. And, you do it through daily habits. So you want them to be disciplined. It starts, with the players showing up on time. It starts with them following the team rules, team structure. It starts with them being, focused in the gym, at practice. It doesn't happen in games. You build up to the games, but team discipline, it's a culture, and you build it away from games, and that's where it's done.
Would you call yourself a fiery, emotional coach?
Am I a fiery, emotional coach? I'm emotional, but do I let it all out all the time? No, probably I'll keep a lot inside, I used to be more emotional, but I've been doing this now for quite a while, so I've learned to tone it down. But I used to be way more fiery than I am nowadays. I guess it's just the experience, that tells me when to maybe be a little more fiery with the boys, or when to press the buttons at the right time, I think, is what I've learned over time, and just to stay stable the rest of the time.
I think it's great you got to spend some time at the Civic Center before moving into the new arena, so we get to ask you, what do you think of the new arena, and what kind of adjustment is there going from the Civic Center to, with training camp there, and then all of a sudden playing games here?
Well, obviously, the Civic Center, I could tell it had character in it, right? You go upstairs, you see the wall there with all the events that took part in the building and whatnot. It's to me, it was a typical, true Canadian old barn that you could tell a lot of history happened. And now we're moving into a brand new building that's state of the art, and we got to create our own history in there. I think the first few days, I could tell the players, first practice, the first 15, 20, 30 minutes even, the players were a bit looking around, and I knew at that first practice it was going to be a bit like that, maybe a little more unfocused than what they should have been. But at the end of the day, after a few days and a few weeks, you get used to your building, right? So when you're on the ice, you focus on what's going on the ice. But if you look around, it's a beautiful building. There's I think it's a perfect size for a junior A team. It's not too big, it's not too small. You have the suites upstairs. If companies or people want to rent it out, which is great. It gives it that look where it's a little more modern in a sense, and it could cater to different people. And you have the community rink on the other side too, right? So it's great to have two rinks in the same building. And I just think overall it's well done, and I think we're all privileged to be part of it right now.
Are the biggest benefits from moving to the Civic Center to the new arena off the ice, in the dressing room and beyond?
Yeah, for sure. It's more practical dressing room wise. Also, the way the coach's office is right by the dressing room. The players, they have a better area when they walk in to leave their clothes. They all have dry lockers, and there's a little kitchen area that's there, so the players can grab their food there. And obviously, the dressing room is bigger. It's more functional. The therapist room also is included right by the dressing room, and it's fairly big compared to what it used to be at the Civic Center. So all in all, the improvements are made all around for not just the players, but for the coach's office, the athletic therapist, and also for the front office, right? You have Nigel and Mallory that are just a door away from it all. So everyone's in the same corner there.
I know it's early and everything and stuff, but you mentioned talent. Will those things help attract more talent to the Bobcats?
Definitely. I've been recruiting long enough now in junior hockey to know that at the end of the day, facilities will attract some players, right? I forgot to mention too, we have our gym that's right there, right beside the dressing room. So it does attract players. Maybe not, that won't be maybe the whole selling point, but it doesn't hurt when you have a brand new building and you have all those amenities in your facility that's going for you.
First night, you got over 1,800 people in the building. It's packed. It's rocking. Was night two kind of like? Did you feel like there was maybe a letdown from the guys? Like, 1,800 in here last night. We still got 1,000 in here tonight. But that energy that's there the night before opening up a brand new building, is that hard to capture on night two?
Well, it's a bit of a different energy, right? Because the first night you have opening ceremonies. Everyone's excited to see the first game in the building, even though probably people had already stepped foot in there. To have a hockey game going on and to have the energy from the crowd is different. Second night, though, I think it didn't have anything to do with the fans. It all had to do with us, the team. We came out flat. It took us a while to get going in that game, and next thing you knew, we were down 2-0 right after a few minutes. So that was all on us. It wasn't a lack of energy from the fans or anything of that sort.
Their goalie played very well too. It's not like you didn't get shots. That's for sure. Their goalie was really good on night number two. Was there anything that surprised you about the new arena, the ice, anything that kind of?
Well, I guess maybe the funny part is one of our goal was disallowed because apparently the puck went underneath the net, because the net apparently wasn't pegged down fully on the ice, which is, I don't know if that was the case or not, but that was kind of funny. And they told me, the referees came up to me and they said in between whistles, we might have to go get the nets at the Civic Center right now to
Really?
yeah. And I don't know. I don't think they went to go get him, but they said, "Oh, we'll go get him at intermission." And I said, "I think you guys are going to run out of time here." But yeah, so that was probably the funniest thing that was said to me that past weekend.
It'll take some while to get some quirks out of the building and stuff like that, though, right? Like it'll take. You were saying, like even the ice, it'll take a while for the the staff there to get the idea of what this is what we do to make the perfect ice. Because I always heard the ice was perfect at the Civic Center. So it's not like we don't have the personnel to be able to do it. It's just getting used to it, right?
Yeah, the ice was fast and it was hard at the Civic Center. Obviously, now we're in a new building, so they have to regulate a bit the machinery there that holds the ice intact. But I think it's coming along. It's much better now than it used to be the first few days, because it used to get quite snowy at the start, but I think they're working on it to make it better, but it's still a beautiful ice conditions.
And really lively boards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your goaltender got surprised a couple of times behind the net there.
Yeah, when you rim the puck right now, the boards are brand new, right? So, you'll get a bit of action there if you don't play it right.
Yeah. Eric, thank you so much. Anything else you wanted to let everybody know about yourself or anything like that? I don't want to cut you off, but we really appreciate you.
No, just thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
That's Eric Labrosse, the new head coach of the Lloydminster Bobcats, and they are next in action at home October 4th against Olds. They head out for 3 on the road this weekend. Take a break and come back here at the Canadian Brewhouse and find out about Reapers Rugby.
How can you help support the oil and gas industry and jobs in Western Canada? The answer is closer than you think. Sell your scrap metals to PWM Steel. PWM sells scrap iron to Evraz, located in Regina. Evraz's #1 customer is the energy sector, building pipes and plates for the oil and gas industry. PWM Steel is your locally owned metal recycler and steel service center in the area. Plus, they're a strong supporter of the community. PWM Steel, your top steel supplier for Alberta and Saskatchewan for 40 years.
At Jason Arden & Associates Cooperators, we're proud to be a top-rated local insurance company that offers flexible solutions and expert advice for all your insurance and investment needs. We'll work with you to tailor your insurance specific to your needs, and we offer investment advice that always puts you first.
At Cooperators, one of our core values is to give back to the communities that we live in. Thanks to the support of our clients in Lloydminster and area, in 2023, Jason Arden & Associates has donated $40,000 to local nonprofits, charities, students, athletes, and other special events. How does your insurance company support our community?
I'm Brian Zinchuk of PipelineOnline.ca. I used to be a pipeliner and I've spent the last 15 years reporting on energy in Saskatchewan. PipelineOnline.ca provides comprehensive coverage of light oil, heavy oil, lithium, helium, power production including coal, wind, solar, geothermal, natural gas, and nuclear. There's a lot happening in Saskatchewan's energy sector, and Pipeline Online is there for all of it. No one else comes even close.
It's more than just taxes at L&A CPA. Assurance, accounting, retirement planning, estate planning, business consulting, financial consulting, farm program support, and bookkeeping. But yes, there is always taxes. The team at L&A CPA is committed to helping you achieve your best results and will be there to assist you every step of the way. L&A CPA, with offices in Provost, Vermilion, and Lloydminster.
Welcome to Wellings of Lloydminster, and a community of ageless explorers. At Wellings, age is but a number and adventure is always part of the day. Come experience care freedom living at Wellings of Lloydminster, where adults 55 plus enjoy a vibrant, stress-free way of life with a whole lot of fun. Stop in and say hello to their new general manager, Nicole, at 7211 72nd Avenue on the Alberta side, and visit wellingsoflloydminster.com for more. Wellings of Lloydminster, care freedom living starts here. And here we are at the Canadian Brewhouse, and we're excited to be joined by a couple of rugby players. So we're going to talk about Reapers Rugby in Lloydminster and Lashburn this weekend. So pleased to introduce you to Shaylee, Lett, Were you here last time?
No, I wasn't.
Okay, because Keyanna has been on the show. Keyanna
Yeah.
Bannerman has been on the show before, but I was away, so it's great to meet you in person, Keyanna.
Yeah,
And
same
thanks
to
for
you.
letting us know about this huge event that's happening in Lashburn on the weekend. But let's start with we're getting down to the end of rugby season. So what's it been like for the Reapers?
It's been really good. The Reapers, we're kind of in a rebuild ever since COVID. We've talked about that a little bit before.
Yeah.
But we were able to go to a couple tournaments and put in our own team, which usually we're pairing up with a team from Edmonton to do that in the past. So we were able to go to a tournament in Edmonton, and then we are hosting this one, and we've had the opportunity to affiliate again in the city. So it's been busy and good, I think. Yeah.
So this weekend, will you represent, do you have an affiliation with another community, or is it a Lloydminster team?
It's a Lloydminster team. So we actually have a whole bunch of younger girls who are making their debut in senior rugby this weekend. It's a really fun way for them to just kind of dip their feet in without having to go play in the big city. And then our affiliate team actually put their own team in, so they'll get to meet some new teammates or potential teammates for next year too.
So you're seeing numbers come up?
Yeah, I mean, Shay has a lot to do with that. It's nice to have some young blood, so to say, to bring in more people and show them that they are capable and welcome, and quite often they're a heck of a lot better than us.
Shaylee, how do you, she says it's all up to you. What are you doing to attract those players?
We've been really building through our high school teams at Holy Rosary and the comp. The comp's actually been maintaining a 15s team, which is really nice, to have the consistent 25 players. And being able to put in tournaments and even going to provincial tournaments and stuff, we've been consistently making it.
Is that the team I see practicing at the Service Sports Center all the time?
Yes, that's the Barons.
Yeah, that's the Barons that are, and they always have fantastic numbers. There's a lot of those. So, do you have tryouts for this weekend, or is it more of if you want to play on our team?
It's if you want to play, we'll find you a place to play. So. Senior rugby gets a little bit, I don't want to say skewed, but there's kind of different versions. So there's sevens, which is what we're playing this weekend, where you only have 7 people on the field at the time. And then when we go play, in Edmonton and some of these other places, we're playing 15s, which is primarily what the high school plays. So more people, more bodies. But when sometimes people don't want to pursue contact sports when they're older, and so we do see generally numbers drop. But as these programs are promoting safety and they're promoting, proper tackling techniques and they're following concussion protocol and they're doing all the things right, now we're starting to see those numbers build up. So this weekend, anyone could have put themselves on a team or reached out and we would have found them a place to play. So yeah, it's just a really fun way to kind of bring rugby back here because we don't get to compete at home very often.
Are you seeing an increase in men and women?
I would say the last couple years more women, but originally we had a lot more men. So it kind of comes in trends.
What draws you guys to the sport? I mean, you gotta be crazy.
Honestly, it's just the community of having that really, especially here in Lloyd, it's so tight-knit. Everybody participating in the Reapers and going to the practices and our socials and hanging out. It's a really good community to be involved in.
Yeah.
Your coach is here, kind of watching,
he's lurking in the background,
checking in. How often do you guys practice? And you mentioned you played some games this year. How many games did you guys play?
Okay, so practices, we usually practice Tuesday, Thursdays. Lately with, the sun going down a little earlier, we've cut it back to once a week. But usually from, I would say, late March, early April, somewhere in there, it's twice a week straight through, and you kind of come to whatever you can and just communicate. And then as far as games,
Yeah, it's different for everybody because everybody's making it to different games, especially with having to commute to Edmonton to make it to a game. It can be tough for a lot of the Lloydminster players, but we've had pretty good turnouts. We've had games where we're having 4 or 5 Reapers players with our affiliate team, which is really great numbers, and it's really great to bring that, the skills back to Lloyd.
How do you keep the momentum going over winter?
So usually we try to do a monthly social, we call it. So in rugby, we don't call them parties or gathering, we call them socials. It's just the term we use. So we'll have a social where we all go to watch a movie somewhere, or we'll go play pool, or We'll do family socials where everyone comes and we go bowling. So just kind of, we like Fish. Sorry, we call her Fish. Like she said, we just always try to have that community stay together in some way, shape, or form. And we're really lucky to have Reapers alumni running a mini program here. So now some of the older Reapers are having families, and some of them are even grandparents, and you're seeing their kids and their grandkids going through these programs, and yet they're still in this community. So just being able to kind of have that family build has been really important.
This weekend in Lashburn, is this kind of like the last hurrah for the Reapers this year?
Yeah, it absolutely is. This is our second year hosting a tournament. We used to host a Halloween party a long time ago.
The Reaper Creeper,
The
right?
Reaper Creeper, yeah.
Yep.
So our tournament is named after that. We've kind of strayed away from the Halloween party side of it, and we said, we don't get to compete here. We don't get to showcase rugby enough here. And Lashburn has a beautiful facility. So it just kind of all fell into place last year where, we had this great offers of the facility, and we had Lashburn Flyers offering to take care of some of the evening stuff. And it just worked perfectly, and we thought, we want to keep this going. We don't want to slow down that momentum. So, it's our last hurrah, but it's also kind of the best one of the year. So.
How many teams do you have coming?
We have 5 men's teams and 4 women's teams total.
Okay, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Last year we had 3 and 3, so it's coming up in numbers.
It's nice to have that field at Lashburn too.
Oh,
it is a beautiful field.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Lashburn, do they still have their rugby programs?
I know that they have tried. It's been tough. Like everywhere has been tough since COVID. We're even seeing that. That's how we ended up with an affiliate team in the city. I know that there's a few people out there, like Travis Hall puts in a ton of work with the youth programming, and I think that they probably will have more in the future. Right now, I think it's very much building blocks.
Now, if you're coming out to watch some rugby, what time should you get there? When do the Reapers play?
So our games start, I think it's men's games start at 11 a.m. And we've got beer gardens from, 10 a.m. to 7 a.m.
7 p.m. 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's a long social.
Yeah. And we'll have lawn games for the kids and stuff, and just come out whenever. We're going to have games running until probably 5 a.m., until it gets dark around there. Come out and catch whatever you can.
Yeah, until it starts getting dark. Yeah, it's that time of year. But there's tell us about this luau. I'm curious about this luau.
Rugby tournaments also always have themes. And so last year we hosted, and it was so cold. It was raining. It was windy. Everyone, like all the athletes tent, because they're coming from Regina, Red Deer, Edmonton, all over. And it was so cold that they just begged us that we would move it up a weekend. So we jokingly called it the Lashburn Luau because it would be so tropical out if we moved it up a weekend. And it just kind of stuck. So there's a bit of a kind of Hawaiian theme going on. You might see some costumes if you're around there. And then in the evening, all the athletes get together and they will wear crazy costumes, and Lashburn Flyers will bartend, and we all kind of go in and have a big celebration. So it's really quite neat.
That's for the players only, though, right?
The luau part is.
The beer gardens is for.
The beer gardens is for anyone. There's a roped off, or there will be a roped off area kind of set up where it kind of has to stay within that area, but. There's actually a World Cup rugby game that morning if you're following, the women's team right now, our Canada team. So we are all, as athletes, we opted to bump that first game back to 11 so we could all sit together and watch Canada compete, and then we'll go into our day. But everything will be open, so if you want to come early at 10, you can come hang around the teams and understand the atmosphere, maybe get some tips on how the game works.
Okay. Imagine punishing your body through rugby, but also through tenting. I'm one of those older people, I guess, doesn't want to get physical either way. The tent or like that's like, I don't think I would sleep on a rock. But is there anything else people need to know about this weekend or about Reapers Rugby? And I will ask you where you find out more information.
I think just like understanding that in order to come watch a sport, in order to kind of take part, you don't have to know everything about rugby. We love talking about it. Like we don't get the opportunity to do that often. So come out, watch, have a drink, ask questions. Everyone's super supportive. And honestly, you're supporting our programs and our ability to help youth programs. Rivers West, which is one of the youth rugby programs around here, is running a concession, so you can support them, grab a burger. There's just lots going on.
Is there a cost to get in? Like, do you need a ticket to get in?
No cost to get in. It's free to come hang out.
And where do you find more information about Reapers Rugby?
We have a Facebook and an Instagram page, so Lloydminster Reapers Rugby. That's kind of the best way, or you can message me on Instagram or Facebook.
Thank you, ladies, unless there's anything else.
I think that's it.
Yeah, that's all.
Well, appreciate your time. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And we'll be back with you tomorrow morning. And with changes coming to insurance in Alberta, we will talk about that with Jason Arden from Jason Arden, the Cooperators, tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, back at the new Lloydminster Nissan. And if you're looking for, of course, a place to watch the Jays game tonight, the Canadian Brewhouse is the place. And the next time that we are here for the Tuesday Night Sports Show, this is hard to believe, but the next time we are here, the Oilers will be playing by then. And this is the place to catch Edmonton Oilers action as well. We'll talk to you again tomorrow morning.